Join us on a journey across the globe as we explore the most haunted places on Earth in this terrifying video compilation. This little girl experiences something in her family's home that she knew was bad. So she goes to tell her parents, and when they replay the camera they had at home, they find it out.
Room in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, a little girl sets up a camera to record herself unboxing her new necklace. And then, everything just goes wrong. In an instant, a bunch of bananas in the hallway randomly fly off the shelf, the door lurches shut, and strangest of all, the bathroom sink turns on full blast all by itself. The little girl in the recording told her family, and they found this when they checked the camera. So is this a haunted Holiday Inn? Is it a hoax? And if it is a hoax, why does this little girl's startled reaction seem 100% real? Let me know what you think.
Have you ever heard of the ghost of Carmel, Maine? This guy goes on to explore some places of his childhood and the case of the ghosts that haunted him in the past.
He has dedicated his life to investigating the ghosts that haunt him. Kent has made some amazing connections and has figured out who some of these ghosts are. To fill you guys in, we're going to start where he lived at this group home here in junior high after his parents abandoned him. Listen to what he has to say about this place.
When I walked through the door, I felt sorrows of death, like someone close to me just died. Before coming to this house, I was happy, but every hour that went by, the fear grew stronger. I knew something really bad is about to happen. For the next 9 months, my life will plunge into the darkest pits of pure hell. Events will take place that almost took my sanity.
Ken had some very terrifying moments at the group home. Listen to this reoccurring nightmare.
I'm standing in an old run-down Victorian mansion. In this nightmare, I experience powerful deja vu. I have a full understanding what's going on. Although all the memories of this mansion were there, I've never been here before in any prior dream. There was a horrible smell of decomposing flesh. Every smell, every color, and what I felt was so vivid, this was beyond anything I have ever experienced before. I knew a demonic entity stays in the attic. It poses as an old woman, but in reality, this is a spirit of murder. This entity thrives on tormented forms of death. It sleeps on a filthy bed, but the moment I appear in this mansion, it woke up, and it was coming for me. I could hear terrifying cries and moans coming from under the floor just below my feet where I was standing. These were the souls this entity slaughtered, and it wants to kill me and collect my soul. I see it come out of a dark room. I run as fast as I can, but moving slow. As I'm going from room to room, each room has skeletal remains on the floor. In other rooms, bodies on the floor in a state of decomposition. This spirit is extremely angry. I can hear its voice behind me. It sounded like someone vomiting and talking at the same time. I run into another room. On the floor was a female who had just died. Large amounts of blood came from her head. A faint voice comes from her mouth. She says, "I'm dead." I wake up to one of the foster brothers shaking me. He said I was moaning really loud, and it looked like I was having convulsions. While he's talking, I hear a disembodied voice of a female clearly say, "I'm dead." We both look at each other. He also heard the voice.
As you heard Kent mention, there was a girl laying on the floor in his dream. He would later come to know that this girl was his friend Debbie. Let me fill you in on their relationship. Debbie and Kent met in junior high and quickly grew fond of each other. They didn't get to hang out much though because Debbie's parents were pretty mean and they basically only got to talk over the phone. But when they got to see each other, they loved it, and one time Debbie kissed Kent on the lips. So Debbie was 100% a point of light in Kent's life, and him having this dream and all these disturbing experiences definitely bothered him. Unfortunately, tragedy struck.
When he tells me what happened, I completely blacked out. Police received a call from a woman who did not identify herself and says, "I just shot my family." She gives the address to the home and hangs up. When police arrive to the home, they find the woman laying in the kitchen with a gun wound to the head. I was totally devastated over Debbie's murder. The circumstances behind it were very dark. The big question was, why?
At this point, it becomes very apparent to Kent that an evil force is affecting him and everyone around him. Now, with what we know about Debbie, we can come to the present day with Kent's paranormal investigations. Because these spirits follow him, they talk to him, and he has so much crazy footage. This is just a very tragic story, and I put Kent's channel at the beginning of the video, so make sure you subscribe to him, show him some love, and show him some support, because Kent is a really genuine guy, and he really wants to help these spirits. That is his life mission. He doesn't monetize his videos or anything. He is just a genuine dude. So now we come to present day at the Lamb House, where he currently lives and runs his investigations.
You know that there is something in the house. You can just feel it.
The very first time I stepped into the Lamb House, I got a very disturbing feeling. A feeling like I've been here before. Memories from my past started coming back to me.
Now next, I've included a montage of all the times that Debbie has spoken to him. At least we think it's Debbie. She says her name is Debbie, and she always reminds him that she is here.
What the hell is that noise? Whoa. What? What'd you say? I just heard your voice say my name. Who are you? Your voice sounds familiar. Who said my name just now? What about Debbie? Debbie, I hope you let go. I hope you go on into peace. You need to let go. Debbie, was that you? Debbie, was that you? Debbie?
I'm gonna leave you guys with this clip from Kent. All my respect and love goes out to him and his family.
My brother Mike also attended Coronado High School, the same high school Debbie attended. Debbie and Mike were in the same grade. The day I found out Debbie was murdered, that night I called Mike. I asked Mike if he knew who was murdered. He said some girl from school named Deborah. The news called her Deborah, but everyone knew her as Debbie. That's what she went by. The day I ran into Debbie walking her dog, I told Mike and Daryl about this, how she likes me and kissed me. When Mike understood this was Debbie that was murdered, he told me something about her that made me feel even worse about her death. Mike said while in 10th grade, every so often Debbie would stop him in the halls to ask him how I was doing. Debbie knew Mike as my brother. Mike tells me Debbie would give him messages to tell me hi, and she missed me. But Mike never gave me any of those messages. Mike said she wasn't really popular in school. When he saw her in the halls or during lunch, most of the time she was alone. Before Debbie was murdered, During one of our phone conversations, she tells me she didn't have many friends. A lot of times she would feel alone. The last time we talked, Debbie told me she was happy I came into her life again. When I went to Debbie's house the day after the murder, is it possible she followed me? And has she been attached to me since? Did the high energy portals in the Lamb house give Debbie the ability to reveal herself to me? Outside of the encounters with Rachel, since the very beginning of these investigations, the name Debbie has come up. Many times a female voice said, "I'm here, Kent." And a voice that wasn't Rachel's would say, "I love you." I kept these encounters private over the years. This was too personal. And what took place between 1965 to 1987, these events were not relevant to the investigations that took place in the Lamb house, at least not until now. So why bring this up all now? Over the past year, spirits have been bringing up numbers that are related to supernatural events that's taken place. All of the events that took place in my life since 1965, these numbers come up over and over again. And these numbers confirm the supernatural events that take place in the Lamb house are no accident.
Watch this young boy say things about his dreams that would leave you in shock about what might be the end of time.
And his wings were massive. I was on the staircase of heaven, pure gold, but it wasn't even silvery like some people think. And I did what the angel told me to look. I saw 2 hands and 2 feet with holes in them, like holes like right here, 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 and here. And I thought, that's Jesus. And he said, I am coming soon. But I didn't see his face because of this massive, pure, yellowish, goldish light. But it wasn't blinding. It wasn't like you need sunglasses, no. And then suddenly the angel said, go back to sleep. And I felt like something was pushing me down, but nothing was touching me. And I felt like I was falling. And when I looked back, I saw my human body sleeping. I had a dream that I was with my family, and then this huge earthquake happened. Massive, destructive. It split the world. The ground split open. Cars fell in. People, innocent people, buildings fell in it. And then I saw a Jeep, and something inside of me said, Edwin, go in that Jeep, in the back, sit down, and, pretend you're going for a normal trip. I'm like, but then something literally forced me, but there was nothing around me because many things were destroyed. So as I did, I put on my seatbelt, and then I saw 2 men, and as soon as they started driving, I said, wait, stop, I need to go back for my family. And they said, no, your family's alright, trust us. For some strange reason, I trusted them. And then suddenly they stopped, and I got out of the car, and I looked up. Because a lot of people were like, oh, what's that, what's happening to the sky? And I looked, the stars were falling. As they got closer, people realized those are not stars, those are angels. And some people didn't believe it was angels, some people didn't even see it. People saw it, like me. And a lot of people kept disappearing. But right before they disappeared, the angel, the whitish, yellowish light would zoom and touch them, and then they disappear. And then I realized, wait, the angels are taking the people. And I looked around to see if the 2 men were still there, getting ready to be taken, but they were nowhere to be found. And I looked up, and then there was an angel coming towards me. And he said, Edwin, are you ready to go to heaven? And I said, yes I am. And then he scooped me up, and that was the end.
Have you had any experience with demonic toys before? These guys might have just found a set of toys that made kids do bad in the past.
This is Gateway, right? That's all we know about it.
Get it? Oh, I get a Gateway.
Right. Danvers, Massachusetts. Wow. These things are really, really hard to find. I, of course, have them, which is amazing. But here's the deal. This is the craziest thing. So the first thing is, there's hidden messages in these boxes. So the first thing when you look at this box, it says family. It's the only word on there that is in all caps, right? So what happens if you spell the word family with the blocks? Where is my other?
The Y is
The Y is over here. Let me spell it right. So I have to sometimes. Here we go. Yep, there we go. So if I spell family in these blocks, if I just turn them all over, check this out. M-U-R-D-E-R. On the other side. So imagine that children's set of blocks where a kid spells the word family and directly on the other side is the word murder.
Holy cow.
Oh, what's the scrum?
There was a UFO sighting in England. But what is more is that this UFO, instead of hiding like the others do in formed clouds, proceeds to give them a sky performance.
Turn down.
Where's it gone? Lost it. Oh yeah? Where? Oh yeah? Oh yeah. Yes, mate, they're two UFOs. That's not a plane, that is nothing with a human being in it, is it? Look at them! Look at that!
It looks flat as well, and UFOs are like flat.
They're like, mate, they're like, almost like orbs. Massive orbs, I have no idea. They're both super bright lights with big tails. Like, it's almost like when I first saw it, I thought, no, is that like a firework or something? Yeah. And then it went down and started going up again. Wow, look at this! How mad.
I don't think that is.
Yeah, it might do, mate.
It's going to go on forever.
It's amazing. But what are those bits? It's almost like fire coming out the back. Now they're like disappearing and flashing.
This police team got more than they bargained for when they were called to handle this situation in this haunted hospital. Watch on to find out that even police can get scared of ghosts too.
The footage opens up to the scene of a police operation underway in an abandoned hospital. As we watch, we see a door violently opening and closing on its own. The cameraman zooms in on all possible angles to show that nobody's hiding behind or around it. The men begin to panic, and as they walk into the room, the sound of a ceramic pot smashing somewhere nearby can be heard. What could cause the door to swing so violently? Some viewers believe that there's a string attached to it. However, it would have to have two strings jutting out in opposite directions in order to get the swinging effect. The police officers walk straight into the room and don't seem to step over any rope or string. Many who have watched this mysterious footage believe it's a genuine poltergeist haunting.
Thanks for joining us on this terrifying adventure. If you want more spine-tingling content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.